No, my
Now
tech.
I am. Yes.
Oh, you weren't yet. Okay. Let me press. I'm talking to my tech, buddy.
Watch this. Watch this. Watch this. A beast of machine, hitting on you with speed, running gasoline lean. Give me all what I need, indeed. Pedal to the metals, the life that I dream. Can't settle for tea, kettle when I can roast it like coffee beans. My chances splitting the seams, pumping supreme. A rough race leaves enough traceless, smoking with steam. Spinning wheels, hitting deals with high velocity. Break the rules of physics to win, become an odyssey. Might be second place, but I'm riding behind. Set to draft, fly by, feel the G-force adjust, get the better lap. My tires may be bold, riding a weather track, but I've left my checker pass so I can reach the checkered flag.
All right, folks, welcome to another edition of the Checkered Flag. I am so excited. Today is Tuesday, the 10th of March. We've got a great show lined up today. I say it every day, but we do. We have an awesome show this time. I'm so excited that our guest lineup. Get to that in just a moment. Want to get to some topics. An arrest warrant has been issued on the theft of the Team Extreme's number 44 NASCAR Sprint Cup car, which was stolen from a hotel parking lot on February 27th, roughly 2 weeks ago. We're going to talk about that later tonight, what transpired. We're also going to highlight the Red Bluff Nationals. We're going to show the 500s race, plus a complete recap of the Red Bluff Nationals. We have on the line right now, I'm so excited, as part of our Way Out West series, races for Cam. We have Jacob Bourland on the line. Jacob, how old are you? Before I'm going to get started.
12 years old.
Huh?
I am 12 years old.
12-year-old Jacob Bourland on the show right now, races an Outlaw Kart. Jacob, so let's get your interview. Tell us how you got started in the wonderful world of racing.
Well, one day we just started to race, and my friend's grandpa let me try out his cart, and I drove out in the back he had a little track, and I was just driving around in the back, and I was having some fun.
Well, and I think we have a picture up there. If you wanted to, our tech to show, it's a picture of you on a little toy car. So that kind of
Yeah,
that the little blue one. I think it's up. Do we have it up there, Tech? Do you have it up? Huh?
Oh, I'm looking for it.
Yeah, he's looking for it right now. We'll find it. But it's it's one of you on a little blue thing, and that's kind of unique because you must have already had racing on your mind at that point.
I did.
Yeah, that's exciting. So let's talk about CAM. You race for CAM, KAM Cartway. Some people ask me what CAM stands for. I didn't get to. I should have had that with our last guest. But CAM Cartway. Tell us about CAM, what that's all about, and what your experience has been like there.
Pretty nice. I'd say I love banking on there. I love the owner. He's a good guy. At the track, it's fun.
Yeah,
People
I heard
have not been there. I say you should try it out.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna be there I'm gonna be there to announce the invitationals, and since it is an invitational, if anybody from Northern California is watching, you guys gotta go to this track. You guys gotta try it out. I mean, they've got some of the best competitors there. We've already had several on our show. Jacob, did you get to go to the Red Bluff Nationals?
Which one?
Did you get to try out the Red Bluff Nationals? The Red Bluff Nationals. Did you get to try that out, or did you get to go, or?
I'm sorry, but what?
It's called. Let me get closer. This might be my fault here. The Red Bluff Nationals. Did you get to go to the Red Bluff Nationals out here in California? I know some of your racers did get out. Some of the racers from CAM did go.
No.
Yeah, well, anyway.
No, we didn't have enough money because we're saving it all up for a new cart that Mike at CAM is building.
Oh, wow.
It's a nationals, and then decided to take the 250 route, and so we haven't been really running nationals that much. So.
Yeah, you answered my next question about your new. I was going to talk to you about your new car. That's exciting, and you haven't been able to take it out. Have you been able to test it out at all yet before they got to the paint job or anything? Have you been able to test it?
No, we didn't. We don't have it yet.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, that's really exciting, and of course, that's why you weren't able to make it to the Red Bluff. But my main thing is what this kid is saying is true. You guys got to come out to the Northern California races if you're watching. Come out to this invitational. You're gonna race up against some of the best of them. And you were talking about the Cam racetrack and how you like the banking. Is it one of your preferred tracks? Your favorite track, I take it? Yeah. Yeah.
It's really nice there. The banking, it's really nice. They make it so it's easy to carry and speed and take off easier.
Yeah. The track looks really. I got a chance to see the track on a video stuff. The track looks really smooth too, so it probably runs really smooth.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. So let's talk about some other things. You are a Dale Jr. I found out talking to you earlier that you are a Dale Earnhardt Jr. fan.
Yes, I am.
Sweet. Let's talk about Dale Jr. and what your what makes you his fan. I know I was rooting for him. I had a top 5. I wish I could have had you on the show earlier because we were doing our top 5 pick, and one of my top 5 actually, I was rooting for Dale Jr. for the Daytona 500. And one of my top 5 picks.
Sorry, here you go.
Oh, I said I was rooting for Dale Jr. to win the Daytona 500 for one of my top picks. What do you like the most about Dale Jr., being a fan? Do you look up to him as a racer?
Yes, I do. He's a nice guy. Each time we go to the track, I always root for him because when I was like 4 or 3, my father always little talked about Dale Jr. and Senior, and that always caught me with Dale Jr. He was he is a nice guy. I never met him, but I think he's a nice guy. He's not selfish.
No, you're right.
He's nice as he could be.
Yeah, he is definitely a good guy, and he really enjoys. I know he really enjoys the kids. Do you are you looking to race? What's your goal? Are you looking to stay in dirt? Are you wanting to get up to where Dale Jr. is? Is that your goal? You want to get up to NASCAR paved track, or what's your goals?
My goal is to just go up to NASCAR and win a lot of championships, and hopefully, if Dale Jr. is still alive when I'm in there, I can meet him.
Aw, right on. Well, hey, we got a picture of you, and it is labeled. For my tech here, I'm gonna tell him that it's labeled. It should be trophies, labeled Jacob Bourland trophies. You got it there, tech? I'm talking. Huh? Got it. All right. Yeah, our tech has it. Just talking to my tech. Let's talk about. You have a lot of trophies there. Behind you, in the we got a picture of you with all your trophies. Let's talk about some of your trophies that you've. Let's talk about those trophies. Some of the trophies that you've. Some of your best moments and your trophy wins. Let's talk about those. You have them with you right now?
Yes, they are, but they're scattered.
Oh, okay. Well, let's talk about. That's fine if they're scattered. Let's talk about your. If you could remember off the top of your head, what are the most, the best, the trophies that stick out the most to you for your wins and everything?
I would say the Santa Shootout one. It's the tall one. When I was in 3.5 at Santa Shootout, we were new to nationals and all that. Mm-hmm. And when we went to the nationals, we started in back because we didn't know nothing about it. We started in back feature, heats and heat. Oh, both heats.
Wow.
So when it was green flag, I got all the way up from back with like, I don't know, like 16 carts to
Wow.
first to second, and I stayed in that spot and I won that big old trophy.
Wow. Oh, you were all the way. You're telling me all the way back from 16 cars. You got up to second. You stayed in second, and then you got up to the first. Wow, that is exciting. That must have really been huge for you, and especially to race against that many cars and get up front. That's awesome, man. That is so awesome.
Mhm. And some of the medals I was wearing are from Cam.
Right.
Those are, I think, from when I was in 3.5. I go out there and I'll try my best and listen to my father and always try to get up to the front. It's really easy. It's really fun.
Right.
And so it's cool and all that, but it's
that's exciting. It's really exciting to hear a story like that. I mean, that's huge. 16 cars, and to get up to second and then get up in first. I mean, that's big. That must have been huge for you. I want to talk about your kart real quick. You're going to be racing you were talking about your 250. When is your first race with your 250?
I think it's gonna be somewhere in near end of March or in the middle. It's gonna be at Cam.
Okay, wow, that's exciting. And what better place to have the first race with that than at Cam Cartway?
Mhm.
Yeah, it's so exciting. I'm looking forward to it. I'm gonna be able to meet you guys. I'm coming out for the invitational, so I'm gonna be able to meet you guys. I'm really excited. Let's talk about your sponsors, any thanks and shout outs, or anything else you want to talk about before we let you go and get on to our next guest.
Okay. X Factor Racing, Child Accepted Motorsports, my mom and my dad, my grandpa and my grandma,
Aw.
and Mike at Cam Cartway and Kelly.
Right.
And that's all my sponsors. And never mind.
Do you have a no? Go ahead. Go ahead.
Never mind.
You're looking for more sponsors? Is that what you were saying?
Yeah.
Hey, now is your time to say that. That's what the show's for. You're looking for more sponsors. Sponsor this kid. I mean, these kids are awesome. But sponsor this kid here at Cam. I mean, imagine having your name added to a cart that went all the way from 16 to 2 and then 1. Another perk is you get your sponsors announced on TV on a TV show. How's that, huh? So if you folks are watching, sponsor this kid, Jacob Bourland. Jacob, thank you so much for having you on the show. Real quick before we let you go, one last thing. Do you have a website or do you have any a Facebook that they can go to keep in touch with you and find out what's going on in your world?
Yeah, they can. My Facebook is Jacob Bourland. Friend me if you're racing and you have questions for me. I can answer them for you.
Absolutely. And that goes for the sponsors too. If they have questions, anybody has questions, you can check them out. It's JACOB BOURLAND. Jacob Bourland. Jacob, thank you so much for being on the show. It was really exciting. I look forward to meeting you.
Me too.
All right, Jacob. You have a great night, my friend.
Let me on your show.
Hey, no problem, man. It was a pleasure. I was excited to have you. You have a great night. All right.
Okay, bye.
Bye. All right, that was Jacob Bourland. We got to take a commercial break, and we're going to be back with our next guest with McKenna Haase after this. McKenna Haase, I believe. Hopefully I didn't butcher that. I'll find out when she calls in. We're going to have McKenna on the show, sprint car driver, along with, after that, with our other guest. And we'll be back in just a moment, folks. Speedway and Beanish Fresh LLC proudly presents the inaugural For the Love of Racing James Pops Wooten Memorial Race. A whopping $1,000 to win for both multi-wingless and main. All going down April 4th, 2015 at Dixon Speedway. For more information, go to www.dixonspeedway.net.
SSS Multimedia is sending you smoke signals, providing their clients with the ultimate communication and multimedia marketing, distribution, production, and web-based services. They feature high-def video equipment and quality audio sound. SSS is your multimedia source, from graphics for business cards to television production, radio, live sound, and everything in between. SSS is sending you smoke signals. Get your message out with SSS Multimedia. For more information, call 707-701-6416 or email info@sssmultimedia.com.
Taxman's taken all my dough and left me in my stately home, blazing on a sunny afternoon. And I can't sail my yacht, he's taken everything I got. All I've got's this sunny afternoon.
Manticorp Tax and Accounting can help you minimize taxation, establish a corporate presence, and save you money. Our over 25 years of experience in domestic and international taxation and incorporation services makes us the best at what we do. Your first consultation at Manticorp is always free, and our discounted rates guarantee you will not end up paying for what you don't get. Try Manticorp today. For more information, call 707-701-6416 or email info@manticorpusa.com.
Back on air, folks, we've got McKenna Haase on the show. Nice to meet you, McKenna. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I am awesome. Man, I'm so excited to have you on. We did some research on, you do so many amazing things, but we're going to start out about how racing began for you. Looks like you started in outlaw karts, like a lot of them, like most kids that get up to sprint cars.
Yes, I started racing outlaw karts in 2010 when I was 13 years old, and before I started racing outlaw karts, I raced in a public go-karting league at Slideways Karting Center for a couple years with the men's league before I actually got my own go-kart, and then I raced outlaw karts for 2 years before moving up to micro sprints. But I raced for 2 years also before moving up to sprint cars.
Wow, that's how many racers do it. And the micro sprints, they're what I mean, obviously outlaw karts too, but the micro sprints, what a great starter program they are for people that want to get up into the main big sprints.
Yeah, definitely. Especially, they're a really good intermediate step because of their size and
exactly.
because they are set up a lot like a sprint car. Even just from a mechanic standpoint, you can learn a lot about the different parts of a sprint car just from working on a micro sprint, and kids can start in those as young as 9 years old. And so it's a really good opportunity for them to learn how to drive a bigger car and how to work on one from a young age.
Yeah, exactly. You hit the nail on the head, and I enjoy seeing the 600s and the racers that have developed out of them. It makes it for an easy, smooth transition to have those development programs like the outlaw karts, and then all the way up to the outlaw karts to the 500s, and then to the micro sprints, and then to the big sprints.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So let's talk about you said you spent quite some time in Outlaw Karts. Let's talk about your big sprint. What kind of sprint are you racing?
I raced a 305 sprint car at Knoxville Raceway.
Wow, Knoxville. Now have you raced Knoxville when you did the Outlaw Karts too, huh? Did you have any you had a win at the Dirt Nationals?
We actually raced at a
Yes.
track really close to the big track called
Okay.
English Creek Speedway, and they actually now every year. Well, this year was the first year that they did it, but now they have a race at Knoxville Raceway itself for the Outlaw Kart,
Yes.
and they just build a temporary track just for that race. But at English Creek Speedway is where I raced when I raced Outlaw Karts.
Wow. Yeah. And then you do and then what's so amazing is you do other things like most of the kids we have on the show here. I find out that you do many other things. You do taekwondo and karate and all that stuff. I mean, it's just so amazing.
Yes, I've been doing that as long as I've been doing racing, and I started both of those at about the same time, and so I enjoy both, but racing is my favorite.
Yeah, I'm sure. Now, do you find that that doing the taekwondo and karate and with the discipline that comes with it, do you find that that helps you carry that over into racing?
Yes, I do. I find that it helps me in a lot of different ways as far as strength building and even simple things like breathing techniques, and as well as leadership and responsibility and things like that.
Right. How did you get the name Sassy? I like that. You have a nickname there.
Yes, well, mainly it's because of my last name, so that people know how to pronounce it a little bit better, because
Okay.
it's kind of confusing. But
Right.
I don't really know. Other than that, if it fits me too well,
I
you
guess,
have to ask somebody else.
Sassy Hasse. I like that. And then you actually have an admirer we can talk about. We had on the show. Was it last week or the week before? And she had mentioned such as a big fan, Zoe Pierce. Wanted to give you a shout out, by the way.
Yes, well, I'd love to throw it back at little Zoe. Races a little outlaw card as well, and has had quite a bit of success at a young age, and so I hope to meet her in person someday, and maybe even have her appear for an outlaw cart race sometime.
Oh, that would be so exciting for her. I mean, she is just so amazing. I mean, I really I enjoyed having her on the show, but I really enjoyed having her on the show. You know, we didn't have a whole bunch of prepared time for her, and so I was just amazed on how she did her interview. I mean, so she not only can race, but she can take interviews too, and I'm excited to see what she's gonna do next. And she looks up to you, so that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, that definitely means a lot to me, and we've kind of been going back and forth on social media, and then I also just sent her a couple stickers in the mail from my driver development program this past
Aw.
week and stuff, and
Uh,
some autograph cards in the past, and so
yeah.
it's really good to have connections like that with young racers, and it's important to me to help them in any way that I can.
Right on. Let's talk about your car. We got about 5 minutes left in here. If you want to talk about your car, you have I love your paint job. And by the way, the pictures we have there, I just want to say they're copyright of 2014 Studio 92. So I can't say that. So I have to say that none of the credits go to us here at the Checkered Flag. I want to make that clear. And they got some great photos. Let's talk about your paint job and all that stuff though. That's a pretty. Who did that for you?
Well, Champion Science Started in Promos did has actually always done my wraps, and so that was actually based off of an old Steve Kinzer wrap originally, and it's kind of difficult with the neon colors to do anything too complex, and so that's what we came up with for last year. And this year we were planning on running a similar wrap because we love those colors because it's really bright and easy to see around Knoxville. And so, but this year actually it is going to be different. So I'm excited to release that as soon as it's finished.
Yeah, that'd be exciting. When it's finished, you want to release it? We could do that here. We could do that here on the show. We can have you.
Yeah,
we can
that
have
would
you
be
call
great.
back in, and we could unveil your car right here on the show. That would be exciting. I wish we could be there live for it, but at least we can show it.
Yeah, that would would be great.
Right. And then of course, you let you give a shout out to Studio 92. We can talk about their. I know we've got some great still photographers out here. We'll give you a chance to give them a plug also, since we did show a couple of the pictures that were taken by them, and they look like they're really good photos that they take.
Yes, they take phenomenal pictures, and not only just of the racers in general, but they take a lot of really cool pictures from the nationals that people just purchase of, like the 4 wide salute, and they ride in the back of the pace truck and everything. And we did an event this year with them where people could get a photo shoot with my car, and so
wow,
we had
exciting.
Some little fans get some pictures with the car, and so it was really cool, and they do a really great job.
Isn't that what makes it all worthwhile, though, having those hero cards and the young fans come up to you and take pictures? I mean, that really makes it all worthwhile.
Oh yes, it really does. It means a lot to me because I was them just a couple short years ago, and so I haven't forgotten. And so when I look at them, I kind of see myself. And
I was going to say that you probably see how. I was going to say that you probably see how
that I can be to them.
Yeah, I was going to say you probably see how how you were back then too, and it really makes you and really humbles you and makes you appreciate the fans. And I say this with the Checkered Flag because I do this show because of the fans. If it wasn't for the fans, I wouldn't be doing this. And I love this business, as I love this business a lot. So.
Yes, I would have to agree.
Yeah. So, have you had did you get a chance to go to the Knoxville Nationals? Did you have a chance to go to the Chili Bowl at all and do anything with that?
I've never been to the Chili Bowl, but I raced the Tulsa Shootout 3 years in a row, and then I just went to watch this year.
Right.
And I hope to, in the future, return to race in the Tulsa Shootout, and then hopefully someday race in the Chili Bowl.
Right on. Well, thank you so much for being on the show. If there's anything else you would like to talk about and give a shout out or push, we could do that. We got a few minutes. We're actually going to do a recap of the Red Bluff Nationals. Is there anything else you'd like to say before we let you go?
Just thank you very much for having me, and to follow me, you can follow me on my Facebook page, McKenna Haase and Team Haase Racing, and Twitter and Instagram and YouTube under McKenna Haase.
Sweet, they can see your videos. And where are you going next? Where are you headed off to race next?
We begin practice on April 11th, and opening night is April 18th at Knoxville.
Thank you so much. Good luck at Knoxville, and it was so nice to have you on the show. We'll have to have you back for the unveiling of your new car, your paint job and all that, okay?
Yeah, that would be great. Thank you very much again for having me.
McKenna, no problem. You have a great night. All right.
You too.
Bye-bye. All right, McKenna Haase, Sassy Haase. So good to have her on the show. Excellent. We're going to get to a recap right now. The Red Bluff Nationals happened over the past weekend, and one of our Texas buddies went there. We're going to talk about that right now. We're going to go with starting with the beginner box, the qualifying, and of course afterwards we're going to show a video. We have a video we're going to show of the 500s. So the 500s that went, we're going to show a video of how that was. In the qualifying, doesn't surprise me, Clinton and Drago in the beginner box qualifying. This is March 7, 2015 for the Red Bluff Nationals. Chance Grassi qualified in second at an 11.185. Rylan Renaud, we're going to go with the top 10 because we have time. We're going to go 10 qualifying top 10. Trevor Grimes in the 27. Riley Renaud, 11.186. Trevor Grimes, 11.289. 27. 26 points. The points lead right now with the qualifying results. Carson Thomas, number 5. Tater Reich came in at 11.402. 25 points. Angelo Segura in the number 7 came in 11.451. These are times around the track. Best time. 11's pretty good. 11s are pretty darn fast for Red Bluff. Even Evan Gunderson at 11.463. Jake Lafferty at 11.522. And Connor Meowrider. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. 11.522. 5, 2, 3. That would be the top 10. Let's scroll down to beginner box, starting with the beginner box heat. Clinton Andrego took home the heat with a total of 10 points to go with it. This is the first race, Red Bluff, with the Red Bluff Nationals kicking it off. Carson Haase at number 2, McKenna Gannon at number 3, number 4, Jace Lafferty, Grant Proctor at number 5. That'd be able to bring up the top 5. Let's get down here to the beginner box heat number 3. They had 2 heats. They had 4 heats. There were so many races. They had 4 heats, and they had A and B mains. We'll get to those. Maximus Mitri, it took the 11.459. It took the fast time. Also won the heat. Riley Renaud, Angelo Segura at number 4. Number 3 was Alan Pizzora at number 3, and Garen McNary actually came in at number 5. So there were 5 for that heat. Let's get to the trophy dash for the beginner box. Rylan Renaud won the trophy dash. Tyler Reich came in at number 2. Big house off to Chance Grasty. He's right up there, almost up there with the top of him. Top at number 3 at 10.658 for Chance Grasty. He's having a great winter series right now there. Clinton Andrego not far behind at 11.159 in his number 199 car. Trevor Grimes bringing up the top 5. That would be the 6-car trophies. We'll go with 6. Carson Haase came in at number 6. Beginner box C main. There was C, B, and A. There were so many cars that showed up for the Nationals. Linda Triup came up for the beginner box C main 1. Jaden Triup, the brother, came in at number 2. Micah George, number 3. Grant Proctor came in at number 4. Number 5, Aaron Sington. And Garen McNary came in at the number 6. Going with the beginner box B main now. Chance Grasty won the beginner box B main. Yes, buddy. Big hats off to Chance Grasty for winning the B main. Again, I saw him reading the early ones. I saw that kid creeping up there. Number 3, Chance Grasty took the win. Tater Reich took number 2. McKenna Gannon at number 3. Number 4, Micah George. Trevor Grimes actually brought up the top 5 for the B main. Gonna go with A main 5 results for the beginner box. Rylan Renaud took the number 1 in second for the A main. Chance Grasty. Wow, he was right up there. 11.448 to the 10.448 to the 10.467. He was so close to Rylan Renaud. That's amazing. Tyler Fox at number 3. Number 4, Maximus Mitri. Carson Haase brought up the top 5 for the A main. Madison Smith. This is our box stock now. Madison Smith took the win in the number 97 qualifying. Raymond Valdez qualified at number 2. Brody Petrie qualified in 3rd. Carter Abel and qualified at number 4. Top 5 qualifying, Carson Sousa. Gonna give a shout out to Daniel DeKaiser and Daniel Whitley. They were actually 12 and 13, not too far at 10.114, 10.115. 70. Daniel Whitley also in the race. These are some of our Northern California boys that I've had on the show, so I really got to give them a shout out. Box stock heat: Mason Smith, Tyler Mathery, Daniel Whitley, number 3 in the heat. Right on, Daniel. Carson Souza, number 4, top 5, Savannah Heath. And continuing on down, box stock heat. The results: heat number 2. They had 3 heats that night because there was a huge pack of cars that showed up. Carson Perkins, number 1. Raymond Valdez. Preston Carr, number 3. Jack Phillips, 4. Evan Barola in the top 5. Carson Rodman took the win. Brody Petrie in 2nd. Good job, Brody. Carly Holmes in 3rd. Number 4th, Hunter Mason. Wade Whitman Jr. brought up the top 5 in the heat. Great job to Wade Whitman Jr., one of our local California boys. Caden Butler. Yes, right on, Caden. Took the heat win for the number 4. Caden Butler with a total of 10 points to start off with, a 9.876 time. Tanner Pettit, a 9.972, not far behind in his number 24P. Carter Abel, Daniel DeKaiser in 4th. Carter Abel was in 3rd, Mitchell George bringing up the top 5. Carter Abel took the box stock trophy dash win. Jack Phillips, Brody Petrie in 2nd. Raymond Valdez in 4th, and Mason Smith bringing up the top 5. Get to the thing here. Gonna go skip the B main and go to the A main because we are running out of time. Still got a video we're going to be showing of the 500s race. Show a little highlight video of the race at the Red Bluff Nationals. Mason Smith took the win in the number 97. Caden Butler second in the A main. Great job, Caden. 35, Carson Perkins. Carter Abel in the 4. Top 5, Tyler Mathery. It's a mouthful there. Okay. We're gonna go skip the qualifying for intermediate and because of our time and go down to the final heat, which is going to be actually going to the trophy dash. Tanner Carrick took the trophy dash win. Colby Johnson, 38M, came in at number 2 in the trophy dash. Ren Eberhard in 3rd. Tanner Holmes in 4th. Mariah Kofer, and then bringing up the top 5. Big hats off to Tanner Carrick for the win, and Colby Johnson, not far behind Johnson, was the number 3 of Ren Eberhard. 9.206 to the 9.291. You got some pretty close ones. Ren Eberhard took the B main. Right on, Ren Eberhard. This is number 14. Garrett Brown at number 2nd. Came in at number 2nd. And number 2, 07, Jaden Woolbridge. Number 86C, Carson Mason. Tyler Rogers brought up the top 5. Intermediate main, getting to the main. Chelsea Blevins 1. Mariah Kofer 2nd. Garrett Brown at number 3rd. Carson Mason at number 4. Tanner Holmes in the top 5. Okay, skip qualifying because we are getting low on time here. Mike Wheeler took the win in the open class. Chase Magic, sub 7. He subbed actually for Stephen Gannon. Chase Magic to 42. Took 8.856, 8 points total so far. 2nd position. 3rd, Logan Seavey finished 3rd. Shannon Graham finished in the top 5. Daniel Job finished the top 5. Open class, Brandon LaChance won the open class heat. Michael Tarter, Morgan Sanhagen in 3rd. In 4th, James Edens, Sean Milligan in 5th. We're supposed to go to the trophy dash in mains because we're out time constraint here. Michael Buddy Kofoid took the win in number 91. Big hats off to Michael. Great kid. I've watched him grow in racing. He's racing a sprint right now. Good to see him get back in his Outlaw Kart class and especially take the win. The number 42 took 2nd. Amanda Moore in 3rd. Tristan subbed for Jacob Miller in 4th, and in 5th, the number 22, Michael Tarter. Open class. Gonna go with the open class A main for the time constraint. Logan, the number 51. Logan CV, Mike Wheeler in 2nd. Casey Schmidt in the number 4, number 3rd. Number 3, Chase Magic, Brandon Johnson brought up the top 5. Gonna go with the sportsman class. Getting down to the nitty gritty here. Getting a sportsman class heat. Nope, of course I'm gonna do this trophy dash. Sean Fogarty took the number 6, 23. Chris Renaud and 23X took number 2, number 3. Eric Gannon, Bo Perkins, and number 4. Number 5, Kevin Hardnett brought up the top 5. And I'm going to go with the A main because we're kind of running out of time here. Chris Renaud took the win. And these are also the considered sportsmen or considered the 500 class, which we're going to show in just a little bit. Chris Renaud, Eric Gannon took the win. Bo Perkins in 3rd. 4th, Cody Smith. Scott Morton bringing up the top 5 for the sportsman class. And that will take care of the recap of the Outlaw Karts, the Red Bluff Nationals. And right now we're going to show the Red Bluff Nationals. There's a video there with a 500 race. And after that, we'll go back to the next guest, Madison Princess Basile on the show. We're excited to have her on. And then, of course, we have NASCAR Junkie Talk. A little bit later, we're going to talk about the Team Extremes number 44 NASCAR Sprint Cup car, which was stolen and actually was found. So we're going to do that. And right now, we're going to show the highlight video from the 500s, and we'll be back with our next guest after that.
Turn 4. So here they come, racing back to the yellow. And trouble for Stephen Gannon. He stops on the backstretch. And here we go. More green. Wheeler looks out Logan City upside down in a big way. Aluminum can. As now here comes Stevie, comes up and says, what the heck? Stevie slides back by Gannon. Logan Stevie is right there as Gannon slides back Tyler Stevie for the second spot. Now Stevie slides back in and McKenna gets crossing. White flag waves. Here comes Logan Stevie. Slide down from James Easy, takes over the second spot. Carter gets crossing out into turn 3 and 4. Oh, and Eden spins out, running fourth. Hangs onto it, but falls back across Morgan Stanhagen. Got the run down to turn 3 and 4. She'll make contact, but she'll take the lead. Oh, contact with Caldwell and Park. We got a huge pile up down in turn 1 and 2. More green. Stevie with the early lead. Bradway in second. Amanda Moore sits third. Here comes John Milligan. He moves into the fourth spot. Back to the green. Here we go. Green flag wave. There's 3 wide for second. Caldwell backs out of it. John Milligan moves into second. Here comes Caldwell trying to get up in front of Amanda Moore. Oh, Bronzer, Jimmy Ellens, he hops the curve down to 1 and 2, but somehow hangs onto it. He moves to the spot to Buddy Kofoid and Kyle House. Buddy Kofoid down by. Oh, we got an upside down. That's Chase Johnson. And there it is. Here comes Jesse Caldwell, moves into the second spot around Sean Milligan. How about Kyle Housen driving around Amanda Moore for that 5th spot? And the curve is being off of turn 2 right now. Oh, whoa. Contact with Ellis and Ethan Roeder. Oh, Bronx for Jimmy Ellis. Caldwell shuts the door down the back straightaway. We got a big stack of over here. Lane Lynch on the bike. Now it looks like McGahan gonna move into that second spot. Oh, wow, contact with Tyler Seavey and Brian McGahan. We got big contact. White flag waves for Jesse Caldwell. Tyler Seavey's got his hands full with Amanda Moore. Tyler Seavey gets passed by Amanda Moore. Here comes Buddy Kofoid. He puts a slider on Jesse Caldwell for the lead. It's a drag race for the line and Jesse Caldwell. All run the bottom down to 1 and 2. Amanda Moore runs it a little bit better. Steve again. Now look at Steve again with a slide job from Gannon. He takes the lead. Now there's huge contact on the front stretch. One car upside down, that's Steven Gannon. Miller's got to run down the front stretch and into turn 1. And he hops the curve over there. We got a huge pile up. That's the entire field besides Buddy. As we're green. Here comes Steven Gannon, makes contact with Buddy Kofoid. Here comes Tyler, or Michael Tarr. He drives around Stevie, or Kofoid down the back straightaway. And now contact Tarr upside down the front stretch. Buddy Kofoid takes the win as Michael Tartar ends up upside down. Steering wheel just got thrown out of the car. Looking for the green here. And we're green. Swamp right off the bat for Mallard. We're green. The battle for 6 is getting hot. As right now it looks like Shane Graham is on the bubble spot. Here comes Becker to the inside of Caleb Henry. Can't make it stick. They'll take over the second spot. Look at James Eads. He's running the board. He goes around Shane Graham for that 6th spot. Here comes Caldwell, though. Watch out for the 86 pin. Caldwell, here comes Deans. He's looking low on Jake Park. He got problems on the back. Pulls his car off the track right as we went green. Slide on into 9 for the 25G. Oh, we got one upside down over here on the turn 4. Or green. For Edens gets a little loose off turn 2, loses the spot to Shane Graham. Had a big pile up down there in turn 3. How about Morgan Standing as she takes the lead off of turn 2? Move here on James Eads, but he's having none of it. He drives back around off of turn 2. Now he shuts the door. He looks for the slider on Shane Graham. Shane Graham hops the curb off turn 4. Amanda Moore is working real hard. Oh, bump for James Eads. He spins out off of turn 2. That'll bring out a yellow. We'll take the green in the open division. Brandon Johnson takes the early lead down the back straightaway into turns 3 and 4. How about Chase Hill? He moves into the 4th spot. Here we go. We're back to green, but now we're back to yellow because Caleb Henry stalls it coming to the green. Oh, whoa, big problems on the backstretch. Holy ARCA brakes. Going back green. Green flag raised. Brennan Johnson. Here comes the 42 of Stephen Gannon. He's going to move it up into the 2nd spot by Mike Wheeler. Wheeler slides him down into 3 and 4. He'll take back that 2nd spot. How about the 91L of Chase Hill? He's looking real strong here. As the slide job from Casey Schmitz on Morgan standing in for the 5th spot. And problems for Daniel Becker out of turn 2. He's over the cushion over there. Johnson going down into turn 1 right here. We're green. Here comes the slide. The slide job from Mike Wheeler. Can't get it clear. Brennan Johnson drives back around him. Now he looks down low in 3 and 4. Gets a piece of the cone. Loses a lot of momentum. Here comes Casey Schmitz and Logan Seavey. They just cracked the top 5. Brennan Johnson is absolutely locked down right now on the top side of the racetrack. How about Logan Seavey? Up front for Chase Hill on the back straightaway. And we're green. Here comes the slider. Slide job from Mike Wheeler. Cannot get it clear once again. Brennan Johnson drives back around him. Oh, problems for Stephen Gannon. He backs it in like a non-wing car. Somehow hangs on to it. Loses 2 spots. Now Casey Schmitz up to the 3rd position. Oh, problems for Gannon. He spins out getting to turn 1. Slowly through turns 3 and 4. We're going to be flying off of 4. Here we go. Here comes Michael Dorr with a slide job on Brennan Johnson. He doesn't get it clear all the way. And Logan Seavey comes out with the lead. Holy cow. Oh, now contact with Wheeler and Brennan Johnson. We're green. Brennan Johnson jumps the start, but Stevie wins the slider down at 1 and 2. She gets Crossy down on the back straightaway. And now a yellow for Jeffrey Hudson. We're green. And that's what I said. Logan Stevie slides himself down in turn 1. But Mike Wheeler's got to run. Now he slides himself again down in 3 and 4. White flag waves for Logan Stevie. Wheeler gives him the bump going down into turn 1. He's got to run down into turn 2. Can Mike Wheeler drive around him? It's going to be Logan Seavey takes home the win. Is this a cup race? I can't tell. Okay, that was pretty bad, boy. Checkered flag, one hand, other hand full of Eddie. And now he's got hopping up on the cage. Oh, he's gonna wing dance. There's a wing dance. Please don't fall down. There you go. Congrats to Logan. I think he just bent that left front wing strut, but I'm sure Jim Yellers will say that's all right. As here comes James Edens.
All right, folks, we are back. We have Madison Basile, right? How am I try to pronounce that right?
Basile.
Madison Basile. Yes, thank you. How many announcers, can I ask you, how many announcers make that mistake? Do announcers make that mistake when they announce you?
Yeah, kind of a lot of times.
Madison, thanks for being on the show. Madison's an outlaw kart racer. How old are you, Madison? 8 years old, and let's talk about how you began your racing career. How did you get started? Or did you start in a beginner box?
My dad, when I was little, he started racing, and it was like a family thing on my dad's side of the family. And then when I was 4, I was used to racing, but the rule was when you're 5, you can begin.
Yes.
I was used to racing a lot, so I began when I was 4, and I've been racing for 4 years. And when I was 4 and I started racing, in the quarter midget, I lost control because
let me tell you, you're a great talker to be a racer and 8 years old. Tell, yes.
Can you pull the mic on her up just a little?
Yeah, yeah. Okay. All right, how's that?
Ask her to say something.
Can you say, all right, look,
Go ahead, yeah.
we had to pull the mic away. All right. So, tell us about your quarter. So, how long did you race a quarter midget?
2 years.
Wow, you raced a quarter. So, what do you talk to us about your kart? You started out in a beginner box like most. You said that beginner box were like 4 years. So 4 years. You were only 4 years old when you started. I mean, that is so amazing. Do you remember your first time stepping into an Outlaw Kart and what that felt like for you? Your very first time ever getting into a kart? Do you remember?
It was kind of scary because I didn't know, I wasn't kind of used to it that much, and I didn't really know what a whole bunch of flags meant because I only knew a couple, and it was kind of weird. It was kind of like scary. When I crashed, I wasn't really that scared. I was crying because I messed up my paint, and I was just worried about my paint. But I was okay, and it was kind of scary. But now I like racing.
Right on. So what are you racing right now? What are you racing right now? A box stock or
The flag was open.
You're racing an open?
Yeah, a 5-horse.
Oh, a 5-horse open. Okay. And is that like a box? Because I'm not familiar. I know there are different kart names for different areas. I know I've worked with beginner box stocks, junior outlaws, 250s, and 500s. Is the open kind of like a junior outlaw or a box stock?
Yeah. Are you there, Ace?
Yes, I'm there. Yeah.
So here, I'll kind of fill you in. So here in the Northwest, we run different 5-horse classes. Back in the day, as you remember, karts used to be flathead Briggs was the big thing.
Yes, this is the father, by the way.
A lot of people still haven't transposed into the Subaru classes yet. We're just now starting to grow those classes up here.
Right.
So we run in a class where you can run a Briggs or a clone or an animal. And it's an open engine rule, so we're taking these 5-horse motors and we're turning them into pushing 19 to 20 horsepower.
Wow, that is awesome. Well, thanks for cluing us in on that. That's the father, by the way. We'll get back to Madison. I'm looking at your car right now, Madison. Tell us about. Do you know who did your paint job and all that? Because it's a pretty spiffy looking cart.
It was drawn by my friend Basile. He's 14 years old and he races.
Yeah.
And he's really good at drawing. So we have him draw some stuff for us, and he designs it.
Right. So who do you look up?
These are done by James Gang Pizza.
Oh, right on. We're going to talk about your
It's a
sponsors.
really famous place. A whole bunch of racing people have them sponsor them.
Yeah, that's really exciting. I just love the look of your car, and we'll get your sponsors a little bit later. But so let's talk about your open. How fast do you go in it?
10th mile in 9.5 seconds.
Oh wow, that's pretty good times. So have you been in any accidents in your kart yet? In the kart you have now?
Maybe 10.
Yeah. Wow. And it's just amazing that that happens and you get right back in it. Is there any? We have a couple of fan questions, by the way. I'll answer one now. Any significance to your car number, the number 64? Is there any? What I mean is, with the number 64, anything? Did you?
My dad's friend passed away, and he was really close to us.
Oh.
So I started racing his number, and first it was 64, and then I was like, oh, Dad, my name's Madison, so I can put an M. And then now it's 64M.
Wow, that is awesome, Madison. Thank you so much. And of course, want to give you a chance to give your sponsor where are you racing next? First of all, where can we see you? Where can we watch you race? Where are you going next?
In North Speedway. It's
All right. And do you have a Facebook or anything that anybody can look at, or any place they can go see your videos?
Yeah, my name is Madison64 Racing.
Yeah.
My dad has a page hooked up for me.
Right on. So is that Madison64racing.com?
Madison Basile 64 Racing is on Facebook.
Okay. All right.
If you need help spelling anything, I can help you.
Okay. We'll have to check that out. Give us some sponsors, thanks, and shout outs. We want to give you a chance to talk about your sponsors and all that, because this is their time to see. The cool thing about this is your sponsors get to hear their name on the show. Can you think of any? Maybe a couple?
So Comfort Suites in Salem might sponsor me. It's a hotel, and it's a really nice hotel, and they have free breakfast. The breakfast is so delicious.
Wow. Okay. Well, they can see your sponsors that are actually posted on our page. Actually, we're tagged in it, so we can have that. You can see Madison's page again. Madison64 Racing. You can also, if you have any questions for her dad, he's also on Facebook as well. Madison, we have to let you go because we got to get to our commercial and who's on next week. But thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you for having us. And the hotel is really nice. It has a Facebook page. It's called Comfort Suite Salem.
And then also, Ace, check out. Tell everybody to check out. Coming the end of March, we got the big race here in the Northwest. It's Cage Cup.
Oh yes.
Race.
Yes,
It's going to be the best of the best. 7+ states. We got people from Canada coming in. Ryan Foster won it one year. Tyler Savior ran it last year.
Yes.
So it's kind of a big thing here in the Northwest. We don't have kind of the publicity that Red Bluff has, but we do a good thing. We run 9 classes here in Salem. We have 7 beginner kids classes.
I've talked Salem, Oregon.
Mostly about the kids up here. So
I've talked Salem. I have spoke about Salem, Oregon on the show before, and we've had guys like Cody Wooten on the show, and so it's exciting to see that it's exciting to see that how big this Outlaw Kart thing is. I didn't know until I started announcing that how many Outlaw Karts kids are out there, spread across the entire U.S. It's just so amazing.
Oh yeah, here in the Northwest, we have luck, and we're actually got a couple more opening this year. But during the winter, we've got the Roseburg Indoor, which a lot of people from California come up to, and then we got the Salem Indoor, which is a 1/10 mile indoor track.
Right.
And then during the summer we luck out. We have Albany MX, and we have Cottage Grove, and Willamette Speedway, and Medford, Oregon. And then this year we're picking up Roseburg Outdoor, which is a new track for us this summer.
Wow.
So.
Well, you know what? You guys are so amazing, and I want to say thank you to that little girl of yours. She's quite the talker, and she definitely has a bright career ahead of her. She can race, and she can take interviews, and that's huge.
Yeah, well, I appreciate you having her on the show, man. We've had a spectacular season, and Madison named some sponsors. I'd like to give a shout out to Comfort Suites, and Jam Gang's Pizza, and High Octane Diecast, Moxie Media Promotions, Brothers Auto Body, Thornhill Racing, Ronstar Race Products, Grandma Sue, SRCC Lubricants. All these people have stepped up this year and helped Madison, clinch another championship. At 8 years old, this girl's, a 2-time champion. She's won 10 mains this year and 22 heat races. So
that is so amazing at 8 years old. And folks, if you're in that area and you're going to watch those races at Salem, go to the Comfort Suites and tell them, and please make sure you tell them that you saw that you saw their name on the Checkered Flag Show. Okay, let these businesses know. All right, man. Thank you so much.
Racers Hotel, man, and everybody, if you get a chance, come out this weekend, the 14th to 15th at the Salem Fairgrounds. It's our championship weekend, and everybody's going to be fighting. There's a lot of close points going on, and people are going to be fighting to see who wins.
Watch these kids do their thing. Watch this girl do their thing. Thank you so much for having both of you on the show. I've got to take a break and get to who we're going to have on next week. Thank you so much.
Thank you, and goodbye.
All right.
And I hope you have a wonderful day.
You too. Thank you so much, Madison. All right.
All right, Ace. We'll talk to you soon.
All right. Bye-bye. Wow. What an awesome kid. 8 years old, and he gave a great interview. Well, we have a few minutes left. We're actually not going to take a commercial break because we've done enough. We only have a few minutes left. Go to our website, www.checkeredflagshow.com. I'll actually pull it up here to see who we have on. I want to make sure we have give a great shout out to who we have on next week. And our live stream is back up. I'm so excited. I want to give a huge shout out real quick to Peter Schiffman and Terry Larson. They worked so hard along with our tech to get this back up. And so I'm so excited that they got that working. So March 17th, we have Austin Piper on the show. So far, that's what we're going to have is Austin Piper. We might have some other guests added on. Go to our website to find that out, www.checkeredflagshow.com. Until next week, race fans, peace.